Hey everyone, and welcome to SneakerWeb. My name's Rico.
My name is Chris.
And today, what do we have, Chris?
We have the Jordan 1 Low OG with an asterisk, bleached coral.
And we're definitely going to get into that OG part later in the video. But first, of course, is the tech breakdown of the Air Jordan 1. Hasn't changed since 1984. The bottom, one of the best tractions of all time, hip breaking even. And getting onto the midsole, the cushion was definitely left in 1984 because this is a rubber cup sole with an EVA wedge and an encapsulated air unit that you are never gonna feel even if you break these in. And the leather quality on these, Chris, and the construction, why don't you get into that?
So yeah, they're taking a stab at the cracked leather feature, especially for these shoes. It does have some reminiscence to the Jordan 1 High, bleached coral as well, that has the gray hints and white accents and a pink, I guess the Nike sign is pink, and the insole is pink as well. Those also have cracked leather, and the Visionaires have cracked leather. This is definitely
more bleached coral than the Highs.
Oh yeah, this actually lives up to its name as far as the bleached coral sense because the colorway kind of goes all the way around and does the super big hits of pink, and I think this is a great summer shoe in my opinion. This is
definitely a great summer colorway to rock around, especially alongside the Nike Dunks that you got. The what were those called?
The Sun Club?
The Sun Club, yep. But the cracked leather, I just wish that they would implement it across the entire shoe because even on the Nike checks, they did it differently. What are some of the QC issues that we noticed along with these shoes?
So the first thing that I noticed with this shoe specifically, and I don't know if it's anybody else's shoe, I did check a couple other YouTube channels to see if I was the only one that had the same issue, but I did see a couple of that on other people's shoes.
Right.
One check has tumbled leather on it, and the rest of the checks just have standard flat leather.
What? Out of 4 checks, Nike, what's going on here? Like,
I don't know if it was intentional, because from what I'm seeing, other people's shoes had the same thing, but I don't know if it was like meant to be this way or it's just QC issues, or maybe they just ran out of leather and they said, fuck it, let's just put it on.
At that point, you should have just called the whole thing off, but of course Nike's gonna do what Nike's gonna do. But yes, like you mentioned, you have the cracked leather that has been present on shoes like the Mamineers, the Jordan 1 and the Jordan 2s. Which I'm very happy that the Jordan 2s have gotten their resurgence here in the past year.
I like the Jordan 2s have gotten their resurgence. I just hate all the fake bandwagon fans of 2s since the unions dropped. But that's just my personal gripe.
Trust me, we got a whole different shoe to talk about that entire community, but to bring it back to the Jordan 1.
The pink on here that you're seeing on these portions, the front of the toe box and on the back is all suede.
Yes.
It's a nice feel. It doesn't feel like the Travis Scott's type of suede where you're getting that kind of nice mix and that little transition. It's just like a regular flat grained out suede, but it feels nice to the touch.
Yes.
To the back of the shoe, you do see that stamped version of the Air Jordan 1 logo.
Unlike different stamps on the back, this actually does feel, is it embossed or debossed?
It's definitely embossed because it is raised on the back. It's not like the Starfish where it's just like a print. And then, we're moving on from there. If you look on the inside of the shoe where the liner is, it feels like a mesh material, but at the same time, it's very pillowy and very stretchy, in my opinion.
Speaking of the inside, this is unacceptable.
Ew, gross.
This is the Jordan brand. For how much you're charging for shoes, you should put no less than a polyurethane insole in your shoes. But of course, Nike's gonna do what Nike's gonna do. At least this is better than the Ortholite alternative, and this is eco-friendly according to Nike themselves, but definitely not what you should get for a, what is it, 120, 110 at
130
retail? 130, okay. So yeah, for that 130 price, I expect a bit more.
Just do it!
But I would say, obviously inflation is the key issue here in Nike's reason for the shoes going up. But I do agree that if we are raising the price, we should raise the bar on what goes on the inside of the shoe as well. But like you said, Nike will be Nike, and they will produce or try to produce to the highest degree, but give small touches here and there little by little. I do feel like in the future they may, change, or they may not, who knows. But I feel like for this specific shoe, Comfortability, I wore it pretty much all day yesterday, and surprisingly extremely comfortable. The Starfish that I have, they're a little bit of more of a of a thicker leather around the entire shoe. So seeing that this crack leather, it gave it a little bit of a stretch. Also, what I didn't mention was with this shoe, going back to QC, we have the warping issue again.
Oh, which one is it?
I believe it's this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so this one, as you can see, has a bit of a,
this one's
bounce.
flat. I can tap it on either end, it'll stay.
Yeah, so I think that was the only thing. But I do also understand with, the heat, that can also help warp that as well. But I do also know that Nike has had this issue in the past, and I really hope they would fix that, especially on these Jordan 1 Low OGs, that they should be more flat, but, it is what it is.
Talking about all-day comfort and talking about the inside feeling of the shoe, how is the fit on yours?
I'd say, for me, it's true to size.
And you are a wide footer, correct?
I'm probably about a hybrid.
Okay.
I'd say about wide in the front and then kind of slimmer in the back. So
gotcha.
I feel like with this specific shoe, especially with the OGs, I prefer these more than the just Jordan 1 Lows. Probably because the fatness of my foot up to the front kind of stretches it out, but this gives me more of like a molded around your foot feel, and it just lets it stretch out a little bit, especially with the cracked leather. It's pretty thin.
And what would you recommend to the audience?
I'd recommend ESPN at this point in time.
Yes. Let me turn that off. Continue, Chris, sorry.
I would recommend, if you are somebody that likes a little bit of toe space, I wouldn't say it's a lot, but just goes true to size. If you like your shoes a little snug, just drop down half a size. But just remember that these are narrow shoes towards the back, so if you are looking for a snug fit, just keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, I think that takes care of everything for the Jordan 1 in the bleached coral colorway. I really don't have much else to say besides the rating.
You didn't get off your idea about the difference between the ones and then the OGs. Like, how do you feel about the OGs?
Yes. I got so caught up in what I was looking at that I forgot what an OG was. Nike is brainwashing me at this point. But yes, from the tongue backwards, you do have the OG look of an Air Jordan 1 that released back in 1984, and also a couple re-releases like the Travis Scott collaborations and I believe a 2016 model as well. But from the tongue forward, this is not how an OG is supposed to look. First of all, the roundedness of the front edges is pretty high. It basically looks like a box going up this way. But also, let me grab them. The Travises here, just look at that toe box. This is an OG, how an OG is supposed to look like. And this is what we've been given from Nike on numerous occasions now. And in my opinion, this is how it's supposed to look and how it's supposed to feel. This is not it. And also, they took off an eyelet from this. So this has 7, this has 8. So a couple of differences from an actual OG Jordan 1 from what we've been getting from Nike so far. In my personal opinion, this is what we should be getting consistently. Maybe not the leather quality, but at least the construction. What are your thoughts, Chris, on that?
I feel like I'm half and half on the situation, because I feel like when it comes to the OG, I like the new style. I think it fits the narrative of what Nike looks like going forward. I like that they added a hint of the older shoe on the back end, but still gave everybody like a good clean look in the front. I do agree that I do like the flatter, I guess more wider sense of the shoe in the front, but for me, it makes my feet look slimmer, in my opinion, and I kind of like the way this looks. But I do agree that the OGs, if you are going to release these and call them the OGs, either call these something else or have a separate, side to where you're releasing the original OGs with, newer colorways. Now, I do see that Nike a lot uses the OG, specifically the flat one, the wider toe box, for collabs a lot, or special occasions, like for example the 2021 Chinese New Year's,
those were so clean.
Those I'm telling you, for my birthday I'm getting those, and I really want them. But the Travis Scotts, the first one, the second one, even the third ones that are coming out, you see that those are taking the OG hints. Even
the animated Nike check, you get a more animated, cartoony look from that check rather than these ones. These are slimmer, more tapered off. So for me being an animated person, I also like that personal touch as well.
I think they're kind of going on brand with everything that they have. So I think if they're creating something that is seamless across the board, they want to keep it that way. And I fully understand that. And it could also be for, you know, purposes of production and stuff like that. So it's understandable, but I also think that it's for people that are older sneakerheads or people that love the OGs back then. A lot of people would say, oh, why don't you just buy the old OGs? A sneakerhead would love to see a reimagined or updated version of what was before, and it would kind of give more new life to something that was, you know, so loved back then, especially with the previous design, minus the terrible insole, of course.
And also, we love the color blocking of the OGs. We just want to see different colors on them, maybe with different materials to highlight different things. But yeah, those are my personal thoughts on the OGs, and I'm gonna stick to them.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about a rating for these, based off the colorway, I'm not a huge pink person, but this
I love this.
Yeah, this specific pink though caught my eye to the beginning. Like the navies came out and these came out, and I chose between those two, and I had to choose these because the color blocking was so nice.
Absolutely.
Based on fit, based on what you can rock with it during the summer, I'd basically give these about a 9, in my opinion, minus the QC issues, of course, because. Nike, we gotta... Actually, no. Because of QC issues, I'm gonna drop it to an 8. Because of QC...
I was gonna say 8.5. But yeah, 8 is for the QC issues along with it. Nike, you could have had a better rating on our board, but you just had to drop the ball on this one.
I give it an 8 because I'm glad to see Nike releasing more of the OG style, even though it's not the true OG. I like to see this style. They've pumped out so many Jordan 1 lows.
You know what? Because of that, you're going down to a 7.
They pumped out so many Jordan 1 lows, and I feel like I'm glad to see them, even if it's not your standard, you know, people want revamps of the breads and the royal toes and all that stuff, but I'm glad to see Nike pushing with different colorways, experimenting with different things to kind of push the OG forward. And just, you know, give people perspective of what's new.
Absolutely. And even if you do like an all new colorway, don't come up with some storytelling bullshit. Just release it as is.
Just release it. Yeah. You know? So yeah, that's my rating. And you said you dropped to a 7?
Yep, that's, and yep, I'm sticking to it.
All right, well that's it. You heard it first.
Only on SneakerWeb.
Yeah.
But that takes care of everything for the Air Jordan 1 Bleached Coral Low OG. But make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys like what you see here on the SneakerWeb channel. Definitely more to come. And anything else you want to sign off with?
That's it, guys. Remember, put on your shoes and keep on trekking.
Peace, guys.
Later.